Hello everyone, this is Jay at Inspiration Masters. As a part of our inspiring series, we get an opportunity to meet the entrepreneurs, the business owners, the difference makers, and the artists. And today I have a special guest here who is one of our own from the Inspiration Masters team. And let me welcome here Dr. Kanika Verma.
Thank you, Jay.
Welcome today. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you.
And Dr. Kanika Verma is here especially today because of her book which has come out. In spite of being busy, she has come out with a book called Just a Breath Away. When in doubt, love is always the right answer. Dr. Kanika, we are so glad to have you here and we want to find out more about it.
Sure.
And let me tell you about Dr. Verma. Dr. Kanika Verma is an award-winning faculty, an educator, research scholar, and an academic mentor. She holds her PhD in Geography Education. She has taught at the Texas State University and Texas Christian University. She has authored and co-authored several books, book chapters, and journal articles in the field of geography education. She has presented her award-winning research studies at more than 40 national and international conferences. Her latest books are Texas Education Atlas and Texas Economic Atlas. She regularly organizes writing workshops for youth and adults. She also writes poetry and songs, and she enjoys reading, dancing, traveling. She serves as on the judging and advisory panel of organizations such as the American Association of Geographers, the National Council for Geographic Education, National Council for Geographic Education and the Study of the Social Problems, and International Women's Club. She will be receiving her National Science Foundation, the NSF Award. It has already been announced, the Early Career Scholar Award. She'll be receiving in Austin, Texas in October. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jay.
And this is for her contribution to education research in geography. And we are going to talk about her, a lot to talk about, but we are going to talk about her latest book, Just a Breath Away, that is published in English. That's published just recently in 2018. So Dr. Verma, we are so excited to have you here. Tell us something about what inspired you to write poetries.
There's no one answer to it, right? If you want to know like just one big umbrella term, I would say life, right?
Okay.
Life inspired me to express.
Right.
It's, I've always, whenever I used to go in like meditation and think about, okay, what drives me, and it's always expression. Right. When I was growing up and I was a kid, a teenager, I used to love to play with words. Yeah. And I used to love to play with atlases. So I think that's those are the two directions I took. One, my love for places and atlases and, exploring took me into geography, and then my other love for words and expression and communication, I think, took me into the direction of poetry.
Poetry, yeah.
And writing. So, that inspiration, I think, came from being able to play with words and express the emotions.
Oh, wow.
So when you have, like an overflow, it needs to come out. It needs to be expressed in some way. Like, people express their emotions through dance or painting or poetry,
It's an art form.
Exactly, it's an art form. So I think I found my way of, that outlet came out in the form of words and expressing them and sharing those with the word.
It's funny when you say that the atlas and the poetry. Because atlas is something which is already existing. You're just drawing it. On the other side, poetry is something which is nothing out there. But of course, you look at a lot of things. Yeah. But we want to find out what is it that is in this one. What kind of poetry is presented in this book?
Fiction like Neil Gaiman said, right? Fiction is a lie that tells us true things over and over. So whenever we read any fiction, like, even if it's a novel or a story or poetry, or when we see movies, right? They're all works of fiction, but what do they tell us? True things.
True, yeah, that's right.
True emotions, things that happen in life, things that are inside us, things that are outside us, all around us in our lives. So I have the same thing in my book. It's a work of fiction.
It is about life.
It is
a whole lot about life. Yeah. Because the last part I see, when in doubt, love is always the right answer. So that guides me to think that there must be a lot of things involved in which are about life.
Yes.
And
so in this book I have, exactly, the things that inspire us in life. Love. I have poems about love. I have poems about emotions, human relationships, and survival and hardship, and things.
I think I think we would be remiss. If you are here, if the book is here, and if the poetry is here, don't you think it's the time to have a poetry by you live? How about that?
Yeah.
Tell us at least one of the poems.
I would love
I know
to.
you love every one of them you write, but one of the ones you can share it with our viewers here.
Sure, I would love to do that. And you know what? I also combined my two loves, geography and poetry, and I wrote a poem about that.
Geography and poetry, okay. That'll be interesting, okay.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
So you want me to...
Yeah, sure.
Excited now.
Oh, yeah, we want our viewers to enjoy one of the poetry right coming from you, because anybody can read it, but they cannot listen to a poetry in your own words.
I would recite something that would, that's like a positive reinforcement for the audience.
Absolutely.
So this is a poem about survival, and when you face hardships in your life, and that was also one of the trigger that whenever life throw difficult times at me, and so any work of art is a work of infinite loneliness.
Right.
When you are trying to find answers, okay, why is this happening to me, or why am I facing a difficult time? And then when I thought, okay, why should I share my emotions with one person and dependent on one person? Why can't I share my emotions with the entire world?
That's right.
So that's when I thought, let me start jotting down my thoughts and compile it into a book, and then just present it to the world.
Absolutely, and we are glad you did. So
thank you. So this poem is called Survival. And it's for everybody, because all of us face difficulties in life. So whenever you think that life is throwing difficulties at you, think about how to come out of it. Because I think just like how I felt, it doesn't matter what knocks you down. It doesn't matter who hurts you. It doesn't matter what bring difficulties in your life. What matters is how you stand up back again.
Get up back again. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's
what matters is who or what brings a smile on your face back again. And for me, it's writing, it's expression.
Yes, absolutely. That's what we hear for Right Inspired.
Okay, so it's called Survival. The entire room felt empty. The doors, walls, and the windows started shouting, "You do not belong here." I went out to escape the confinement, to embrace the nature, for nature never discriminates. The powerful nature tried to overpower the fragile me. The clouds were crushing me, the winds were blowing me away, the oceans were engulfing me, the rivers were drowning me, the mountains were scorning me, and the forests were puzzling me. The light in me refused to be extinguished by the fierce raindrops of misery. The hope in me declined to get burnt by the blazing lava of obstacles. The strength in me denied to be drowned in the inimical strengths of anguish.
Wonderful. That is awesome. That's an awesome inspiration for everyone out there. And I think this is your entire book is in English, but you also write in other languages?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I write in Hindi, and I have written several poems and songs in Hindi.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, right now I have written more than 100 poems in Hindi.
Oh, so we're looking for a book in Hindi probably. Okay.
Soon.
That's a good hint. Okay.
Soon, but right now I'm publishing my Hindi poems like one at a time with different literary Hindi
Oh,
magazines.
okay.
And also I have now started reading Urdu a lot and learning.
Oh, okay, learning Urdu. So our
Yeah.
viewers can enjoy that when you are putting out some Hindi.
Yeah, I'm trying to write in Urdu now.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm trying to get, attempt ghazli.
Uh-huh.
So that's, but I know I'm taking a risk, but not taking any risk is the biggest
It's
risk.
the biggest risk.
So that's why when I thought I'm okay, now I'm into this field,
Mhm.
so I have to try things out.
But it's very interesting when you are in geography education, and all of a sudden you're starting playing inside the mind geography or whatever you call it.
Mhm.
But that's very interesting, and now we're playing onto the ghazals.
Mhm.
So we are excited to listen to some of those too. Yeah, that's
me
absolutely
too.
right. And one of the important things I would say, and of course we congratulate you at the same time, we want to hear from you about publishing it. What would you like to tell the viewers who are watching out there? Some of us think about, oh, I need to write a poetry. We never sit down and write.
Yeah.
So what can you tell us to inspire our viewers to do when they get that spark?
Yes, see, I think it's in every one of us.
Mhm, yeah.
There is something in all of us, and that's
Yeah.
what makes us unique. So my advice to you is, if you think you have it in you, express it, take it out. And of course, the medium would be different for everybody,
Yes,
right?
yeah, that's correct,
It can be dance for someone, it can be singing for someone. The medium is going to be different for all of us, but take it out, because unless you take it out, it's going to remain within us, and it
That's
dies
right.
within us.
That's
Because
right.
that has happened to several of my poems too. They have
Yeah.
died within me. But then but then I realized, no, instead of letting them die within me, why can't I write them and take it out and share it with the world? So whenever you think that you're being faced by any hardship, or whenever you're utilize it,
Yeah,
make it into something productive.
Right.
Carrie Fisher, the great
Uh-huh.
Hollywood star, she
Right.
said, take your broken heart, make it into art. So yeah, I mean,
that's awesome. Yeah, Seth Godin, one of the writers, he says, ideas that are in darkness, they die. So let them come out, right?
exactly, yeah.
And share it with the world.
So
yeah, that's
if
good.
you want to write or publish a book, and not just poetry on any topic, I would say start noting your thoughts down. Because if a thought comes to you, a brilliant thought comes to you, it will die tomorrow. If you
That's right,
if you
yeah.
don't note it down, that's our minds.
Right.
So jot it down, and see, the idea is not to live forever. We're all going to die one day. The idea is to create something that will live forever.
That will live forever.
And when you create something, it lives forever. It will never go away. As long as
Right.
this universe is alive,
That's right.
it's not going to go away.
Put it out there and let people enjoy and
Yes.
use it in
Yeah.
some way. So Dr. Kanika Verma is regularly publishing her poems, and some of them are on Facebook. So where
Yeah,
can
I
people
share-
find you on?
I share those with my on my social media
Uh-huh.
profiles, on my Facebook and on my
Uh-huh.
Instagram, and they're by my name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Facebook and Instagram with Dr. Kanika Verma's name on there.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where we can find the
Mhm.
poetries. And also this book is published out. Where can people find the entire
This book is on Amazon.
Okay.
So if you go on Amazon, type my name or search by the title of the book, and you can find
Just
it
a
there.
breath away, yeah.
Yes.
Just a breath away on Amazon.
Just a click away on Amazon.
Just a click away. You get just a breath away. And so you just mentioned about the Hindi and Urdu. So is that something coming up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's I'm now when I'm totally into this field, and I'm devoting a lot of my time and emotions and passion into writing poetry and songs. I've started writing songs also. So I'm I think I was inspired by a quotation by Steve Jobs. He said, when you create something, if it can touch the life of even one person in this world, your creation is worth it.
It's worth it, yeah.
So even today, when I read great poets like Rumi or Amrita Preetham or Sahir Ludhianvi or Faiz Ahmed Faiz, and I mean, my emotions they get recharged.
Right.
Even if it's like even if it's a sad poem or a sad song, sometimes because when we are able to relate to it,
Right.
we find a belongingness in that word.
In that word, yeah. And they have given a baton to you in a way when you read it.
Yes.
And you say, okay, now they have given me so much, and now it's my turn.
Yes,
I need to,
exactly.
You have to turn around,
Yeah.
give something back out to the world.
So next thing that's coming up is going to be more poetry.
Oh, okay.
More in Hindi and
probably the ghazals too.
Ghazals too.
A lot of us are fond of ghazals.
Yeah.
And,
so my next
so we're looking
projects
forward to
are, someone composing my Hindi poetry into songs.
Okay, yeah. So you'll see the Hindi poetry into songs. We are going to see the ghazals, and of course in Urdu and Hindi along with.
Urdu I just started.
English
I'm trying.
So we are so excited. We will be waiting for that. My friends, today we have a great opportunity again. This is Dr. Kanika Verma. She is one of our team member, and we had invited her to present her book. I am sure you got some ideas. When I read the poetry which are sent out to me, I think about writing. I write a few lines and then they die, but I think after talking today, I might expand that. Yeah. Even though I don't have much knowledge about Hindi or Urdu, I can write a few words here and there.
Even if you write few lines a day, see, I never complete, my poem in one go. Sometimes I do when I'm sitting in that immense passion.
Right.
But sometimes what happens, if you see my notes in my phone when I usually write and compile my poems, sometimes I just write one line, and then that one line is my poem for months, and it's just lying there. And then another emotion and something will inspire me, and a scene from a movie or some real life incident or something I read, a story or a novel I would read, or a conversation that I'm talking to someone. Yeah. Something will trigger, and I I have to complete that line.
Right. So you realize that at that time that the poetries don't come on conveyor belts.
Exactly.
they don't come ready-made. They don't come in boxes.
It's never gonna get done in one go.
It could be a signal at a time. But
some of my poems, they start today and maybe they finish or they get completed in 2 years from now. But it's okay. It doesn't matter. Don't think that It's a work of, it spans over years and years. Just like artists, we think that artists complete their painting in, a few hours. No, it's never like that. It takes years and years of work. Can I share a small anecdote?
Yeah, sure.
A lady, she stepped up to Pablo Picasso, right? The great artist. So she said, "Can you draw something for me?" And Picasso says, "Yeah, why not?" And he takes the paper and he makes a sketch, and he puts the sketch in the hands of the lady and said $10,000. And the lady says, "What? You just drew something in 5 minutes, and you're asking $10,000 for it?" And then Picasso says, "Well, the sketch took only 5 minutes, but the inspiration behind it took 30 years."
So that's the inspiration. I'm so glad to have you here today.
Thank you, Jay.
And all of us, you can visit Dr. Kanika Verma's Instagram or Facebook page, and to have the entire collection with you, you can visit Amazon.com. Thank you so much for stopping by, and we at the entire team congratulate you as well as wish you all the best for anything which you come up in the future.
Thank you,
Thank you so much for watching.